crazy. Okay, number 6. Go.
The yes, no, maybe client. So these are the ones that never know what they want, which is a lot of clients.
You
Yeah.
definitely, man, I feel like that one client you had was like 4 of these.
Dude, all the clients I had were like so many different bad clients in one. It was crazy. I was just like, what is my luck with this? And the reason I say this to whoever's watching is I literally Googled, like when I had my first bad client, I Googled like types of bad clients.
Cuz she was like, is this just me? Like she was questioning if she was just not dealing with it.
Yeah,
Like,
like maybe
yeah.
I wasn't communicating well, or
Yeah.
maybe my price was too low, or like I don't know what was going on, but it was to the point where I Googled it because it was so weird. And I found an article that was about bad clients. And I was like, oh, I guess it's a normal thing because I've had all of these in a month. Um, but yeah, so this one is the one that basically can't make up their mind. Um, it kind of says like the fix for this is just that they need a gentle but firm hand steering and them in the right direction. Which I guess when I've had a client or a couple clients that were under this category, to me these are the worst because I feel
Really?
like they're the most common.
Oh, you hate wishy-washy.
I hate
You hate
wishy-washy.
wishy-washy. But yeah, they
And
are
I
common.
get it. Like being an entrepreneur, I get it because I feel like you want it to be perfect or you want it to like match your vision, but you're also like probably passionate about it, so your vision might change based on like how you feel. So I mean I understand, but at the same time, I feel like once you're ready to hire someone to do something, you got to know what you want. Like you have to know what you want. Otherwise, you shouldn't hire someone. Like I just
Or
or
at least be able to articulate maybe
the
top
vision.
4 things about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
But then also trust the person you're hiring to be able to run with that vision and like trust their skill set
And also
because
trust that if you don't have a vision that you can articulate, they may run it in a different direction.
yeah,
Yeah.
because literally I had a client where I was making something for them, designing something, and I proposed the design to them and they didn't like it at all. I mean, they like were just like, no way. And I thought it was so pretty. I was so proud of it. I took my time with it. I loved how it looked. I even like showed people like how awesome it looked and they were like, "Oh my God, that's amazing." And then she was like, "Nope, I don't like it at all." So I had to redo the whole thing. But at that point, I was just like, okay, what do you want it to look like? Like, what do you envision? What colors do you want? What type of fonts? Like, then we got back to the bare bones of just like what it should look like. Because I guess at first I thought I had like the liberty to design it for her because she didn't
Right.
have any requirements that she talked about. But
See,
then
but
they
that's why
all
I think
came
that's a
out.
lie. Yeah, you do have requirements.
No, I
Like,
felt like I was set up.
yeah. Like, ha, just kidding.
April Fools.
April Fools.
Again, this was hourly, so I was okay with it, but it was still annoying. So I ended up doing the design she wanted, and then I actually ended up doing a poll and asked people like which design they liked more, just to get a sense of like, was my design off? Like, was I just not understanding like what good design is? Or was it just that she has a very different perspective and like I need to match that because she's my client? So everyone liked the one I had originally made. So it made me feel a little better. Like it validated my skills. um, but that was when I knew this was going to be a long ride.
Well, yeah, I think that was a learning curve for us too, where it's a little bit of what we want, but really it's what they want, even if we think it's stupid.
Oh, yeah. And I think ultimately you should do what the client wants, and that's like a win in itself. But it is difficult when they don't know what they want and they don't know that they don't know what they want.
Right. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, we've even had like people at wedding or like looking for their weddings, and they're like, we want to bring in imported, like almost like prosciutto type ham from Spain with like this special cutting thing, and we're like, well, it's gonna be at least $500 to even just bring that in. Then you're gonna have to pay all of this to just bring outside food in, like allowing outside food, and then you have to pay like this much per person, like. But
Yeah.
they'd be willing to do it. And you're like, well, we think it's stupid, but if you
Right.
want to do it, well, I mean, go for it, you know?
I know.
So, I mean, yeah, I've turned in like final things, and then I'm like, that ain't that cute, but if you love it.
Well, and also, I mean, with the same person, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I had to change things, like on multiple different things I was making. Like,
I
I mean,
think that's
it
where I
was
think
unbelievable.
even with hourly, that's where I think it should still be some kind of roadmap of, it generally takes about this many revisions, just so they have an idea of like how many really, like, because to a person, oh no, let's keep changing. Like, we can change forever. Like, we can make changes forever. But
Yeah.
there's a certain point where it's like, this is kind of the thing.
Well, I had gone to Kat whenever I had these issues because I was just like, what do I do? And working from home, I don't have a coworker, so Kat's my coworker, and she was like, just label it final. Like label whatever you send her like final. That way she knows like this is it. Or, revision 1, revision 2. That way they see like we're on revision 6. Like, come on
Yeah.
now. And I think those things helped a lot. And I think I tried so many strategies though with this woman. I mean, I tried deadlines. Like I set deadlines for myself and for her just to show like by this date, we're not looking at this again. Like it has to be done. It has to be final because there were a bunch of other things we needed to do. So I was just like, okay, this date, this is done. We're not going back there. So that way we can actually finish this on time. And that didn't help. Should have, but didn't. And I feel like the final revision thing didn't help either. I mean, it was bad. It was definitely like a very severe case of this. I'm sure there's a spectrum of people that are like, yes, no, maybes. This was like,
Which is the only thing that I feel like the hourly doesn't play into. Like, when you have that client and an hourly, it can go on forever. Because
yeah, which I was thankful for because
at least you got paid. But still, at the same
yeah.
time, you're like, what are we doing on this project? Like,
yeah.
what are we doing? Like,
well, I guess I don't necessarily mind unless I had like a bunch of other people lined up, then that would have bothered me. And at this point, I did have like another job, so it was kind of getting in the way of that. And I communicated that to the client just because it was like, I'm not going to be able to spend as much time as you need. And now we're
Yeah.
at the finish line and we're not even done with part 1.
yeah.
Like when we should have been done with all of it now. Like, and it was just a difficult space to navigate because I almost felt like I was a business partner instead of just a designer to this client because they were so wishy-washy that I almost had to help them steer in the right direction, like a little too much. So I think these types of clients are definitely my least favorite. Like,
Oh, definitely. Sure. It even says they need a gentle but firm hand, which is different from the dreamer in the beginning. The dreamer in the beginning just needs some kind of roadmap.
Right.
They just need to come back down to the earth.
Yeah.
But this one needs a pull, like.
Yeah.
It is, it even says, don't be afraid to say no to last minute reversals that don't make sense.
Yeah. I had to learn to say no, which I think was very, very hard because it's just a weird thing to do. But it got to the point where it was just like, I've edited this thing that the client wasn't even going to use. And she kept wanting it edited. And I was just like.
But like, the period after the numbering in a list.
She wanted that removed.
But no parentheses, no dash, just like a 1 space.
Which in certain design contexts, it could look okay. But this was just a list.
It was just a regular, there was nothing.
On a plain color. And it was, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, it was very difficult. We can move on to the next one because now I'm just getting pissed.
I think I actually I know, that's how I felt about number 4.